microphone for y'all.
Yeah.
You're in the
Okay.
middle.
Actually,
Oh, all right.
This
All right.
should hold there. This is what's going to the live stream.
Okay.
This is what's going to my camera.
Okay. All right. I guess I'll go first.
I'm here.
The Tech, and this is my third year at BlurredCon, having a great time.
So my first question is, how was it growing up as a blur? Any experiences from it?
Growing up as a blurred was pretty cool. I got into anime thanks to my dad. So, like, anime was always in our house, and then my dad could draw, so he would always draw, like, DBZ characters. And that was the first time, like, being that my parents were stationed in Japan, so they definitely got anime there. And then when I was born, it's like, hey, here's all these animes on VHS. So, yeah, it's pretty cool, like, being able to watch anime with my parents.
No. How old is everybody first?
I'm
What age range is everybody? Let's say that.
I'm 35.
I don't mind. I don't mind saying my age. I'm 51.
And I'm 45.
So we all different generations for anime.
Yep.
Who's next?
Oh,
Were you done?
Yeah. Yes.
So for me, growing up as a blurred, I grew up in the 80s, and that kind of was frowned upon. I grew up in a small town, so it was frowned upon. You know, don't look at that stuff and whatnot. But when I got older and had kids, they loved it. So I watched some with them. Like, they were really into it. My son is like on One Piece. He's just all about One Piece. Like, that's it. If you want to get him a gift, it's a One Piece gift. That's it. He's happy. You know, my other kid was into Dragon Ball Z, so I watched it through them a little bit. So that's where mine came in. So
For me, being a blurred was difficult. I grew up in majority white spaces, so they needed my blackness to be urban, which I was not, in a town of 3,800 people, you know, surrounded by 4-H clubs and pigs and livestock. And so it was difficult, but like, my parents raised me to be a strong oak, to stand on my own, so I pushed through to it. And when I went away to boarding school with a math and science focus, I met more people who were interested in the types of things I was.
Nice.
All right, so what is your fandom before we get too far into it? What's your fandom for your blurredness?
Oh, I love One Piece and Black Clover. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I even got a One Piece tattoo. Like, yeah.
okay, so this is where I'm gonna stray a little bit. Anime, my kids watched it. I'm still really new to it. My kid got me watching Tokyo Ghoul. I've just started watching Death Note. But as for like my crazy, like, insane fandom, is Supernatural. So I'm that. So
Yes, and my primary fandom is Scooby-Doo.
Love it.
Velma did not kill my soul. I got the joke. And, you know, for a backup fandom, I do participate with the Green Lantern Corps and their whole universe.
Oh, that's
All right,
awesome.
you talk about Velma. You talk about the TV show on HBO?
Yes, the TV show on HBO, Velma.
We will talk about that in a second.
Yes.
Because I haven't had anybody really talk about it with. So.
Okay.
So far, this is what the last night of BlurredCon. What's your favorite part of BlurredCon so far?
I'm finally happy that we have a pump it up machine. I'm a huge rhythm game dancer. I'm glad that there's a pump it up machine. I always enter Tekken. I'm out, but I did come in third last year. But it's nice to have the FGC. I do like going to FGC competitions. So every time I come, every year it's like meeting other like just they're my bros. They're like, hey, what's going on? So it's always like a reunion just to be at the video gaming part for me. And then the vendors, I like shopping. So it's nice to get a little mix of everything.
So my highlight was I entered the cosplay contest and I won Judge's Choice for my costume, which was a really big deal to me. I was really proud about it. My cousin was sitting down there. I heard her loud mouth screaming at me when they called my name. But also just being here, my daughter couldn't come this year because she had an accident, but she loves, this is where she fell in love with cosplay so she always wants to come here and everything. I'm sad that she's not here, but we'll be doing it next year, Sammy. So but yeah, this just being here and being around all the people and my people, that's what, and being accepted has been awesome.
For me, it's just seeing Black person joy in the natural. Just people having a good time, being themselves, just really enjoying themselves. Like everywhere you go, people are laughing and having a good time, which is not every space you walk in the world.
Well, I guess I can give my question as well. Like I say, y'all grew up in town where you was like the pure or the black. I don't know if I was really a blurred back then. I guess I visualized it when I met your comments. I said, oh, so this is what I like. I guess it's put me into it kind of. I like stuff, right? My first anime was Digimon.
Hey, let's
See,
go.
you didn't know what anime then. Like Sailor Moon, Digimon, Pokemon.
Yep.
You didn't know this anime. But now I'm in college, there's the Asia tsunami.
Mhm.
And so that's when I got to Dragon Ball and all the kind of stuff. You in the Death Note finally. It's a good one.
Yeah, it is. It is.
How far along are you in that?
I'm still at the very big. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sitting here like running my mouth like, I'm still at the very beginning. I think I've done 4 episodes, and then I was working on a crochet project, and I realized that I was not doing it right because I was so involved in watching the show. So something had to give, and this project was due to my customer. So I was like, "Daggone it," and put it down. So, but when I get back home, that's what I'm hitting up. So I really, really like it.
Nice.
But like I said, the tsunami age and the Death Note. So my big 3, mine is Dragon Ball Z, Death Note, and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Okay.
Brotherhood, make sure you say Brotherhood. So I was in college, my first year in college, so I was in that tsunami, up late night and do it. So I just look at tsunami, then BET Uncut came on after that. So.
Nice.
But I was alone anyway for China. Because I was like one of 4 black kids in my graduating class.
Wow.
Out of 35 students, and I didn't get in with the black kids. I get with white kids, so I just was by myself. So I just was into technology stuff. That's my family. I was into tech. And so anything technology-wise, I could do it. You see how the whole camera setup and
Yeah.
everything. But anime, something that I got into, and I didn't pay my mind. But, my family, like I said, is the technology stuff, technology side stuff. I do anime. Since I've been doing cons, I've been doing more anime. I'm into One Piece now. I'm halfway through it. Halfway don't sound like the episodes there are.
Yeah.
But you're in it. You're in it.
I'm on Fisherman Island.
Okay.
And so, 540-ish I'm on now. I'm like, almost 1,200.
Nice. I love it.
So I know that I can't do more than one. So I stopped watching My Hero Academia to start One Piece. So, my favorite part of work now is like you said, it's home. You feel at home. Like you don't feel weird for what you like. And it's like everybody's accepting you no matter what you like or don't like, they accept you. I told people like this is kind I have not heard anything negative about it. I never heard about people getting fights.
Nope.
I never heard about people smelling bad. I never heard about this anything. Like,
Yeah.
we all are family.
Everybody's nice.
Yes. and,
Like-
it doesn't end like from that Thursday Zay-Zero party until Sunday. It's something going on every moment, and everybody's welcoming you. Like they say, oh no, it's like you can go outside right now, and everybody be welcoming you.
Yeah.
but it's my third year here. So my first one was Homecoming.
Okay.
And like I told Hilton, when I started hearing about it, I said, when I went to Homecoming, I felt like it was a homecoming. Like, I've been doing cons before this, but when I came here, it was a whole different experience. So, so you do, y'all watch anime?
Yep.
Okay, so let me ask you first, what's your big three?
You wanna go first?
I don't have 3 yet. I do like Death Note. I do love Tokyo Ghoul. I did like that, even though it was like really super. I don't like blood. I don't like gore and stuff, but for some reason I'm enthralled in that. For some reason, but my kid told me also to watch Attack on Titan. Is that yeah? So like
I
tried. Well, he told me to do that, but he has cosplay characters from My Hero Academia.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm considering doing that too. So we'll see. I don't know. I just got to make sure it's something where I can focus on what I'm watching and not stuff that I'm doing, because I tend to do that a lot. So
I guess I'll have to take it way back. For people that like Evangelion, my favorite mech is Razafon, and that was back when there was Neon Entertainment. So that's taking it way far back. And I would say for my second psychological like anime is Serial Experiments Lane, just because it was so trippy. And back in the day, G4 TV actually had like an anime channel, but it came on at like 2 in the morning. So that got me to more mech animes like Better Man and stuff like that. And then my third, which is technically number 1, is One Piece. I binged it. I'm caught up with the manga. Like I'm one of those people that.
You doing anime and the manga?
Yeah, I'm one of those people. Like when it comes to one that like favorites that I would really love, like Black Clover, I buy the manga, caught up. One Piece, I read the manga, caught up. Like, yeah, I don't give spoilers. I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, you should read the manga. I'm like, no, everybody has their own preference what they want to watch, or they want to watch anime, or read the manga, or watch subbed and dubbed. I like both because there's voice actors that are amazing in English and amazing in Japanese. So that's like my tops, my picks.
So after Sailor Moon, I never went back, so I'm okay with that. But what I am doing via the Boomerang app, I'm revisiting Johnny Quest.
Okay.
Like, even though Haji is problematic in a 2024 lens, like, I really do enjoy like just all the Quest industry inventions that appear per episode to fix all the problems. And it's good to see a positive, father-son relationship on TV.
Alright, now since the anime world, what anime would you want to live in?
Oh, what anime would I want to give up?
No, to live in.
Oh, to live in?
But what TV show would you want to live in?
Oh. I know what I wouldn't want to live in. Attack on Titan. And oh man, you know what? I probably live in One Piece. I'm not even gonna lie. It sucks because I probably lose the ability to swim if I ate a devil fruit. But if I could find a good crew and we could go to the One Piece, like just the friendship trope, I mean, it would be pretty cool because knowing that me and my friends were badass and no one's ever gonna stop us, it'd be nice to live in that kind of realm where you see that the Navy is bad. But anyways, so yeah, it would be cool to live in like One Piece realm.
So strictly anime, right? Yeah. Okay. Well, being that I'm limited on my knowledge of that, I'd say Death Note. Just don't piss off the kid, I mean, that's all. I'm nice to everybody, so I think I'd be okay.
So I really don't have an anime to live in, but if I was going to live in a cartoon universe, I would live in the universe of Top Cat because it's police without police brutality.
Let's go.
I like that.
So, to go off anime topic now, there's other fandoms.
Okay.
You like suspense, right?
Yeah.
Sci-fi, suspense or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Both?
Yeah. Both.
You like sci-fi as well?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So y'all look at ID channel too then, huh?
Yeah.
So what ID channel show you like, or what do you prefer for suspense wise?
Are you talking about like real life drama or?
So either one, real life or fictional.
I love any sort of murder thing. Anything somebody's getting killed in. I don't know why, but I love it. You know, it's just something about us fiber artists, like that, like crochet and knit. We love watching that stuff. You know, so anything where someone's getting killed and they have to find out who it is, I'm on it. So.
Can we do a sci-fi fandom? All right. I know a lot of people watch Doctor Who, but my show was Torchwood, which was an anagram of Doctor Who. So when that used to be on TV, I really enjoyed that.
Do you know you just blew my mind? I did not know that.
Yeah.
Wow. So for me, post-pandemic, all my entertainment, everybody has to live at the end of it. So I've like stepped away from the suspense, you know, I want implied death at best. So like for me, like I really enjoy like Star Trek. So even like old school, the animated Star Trek, you know, where Uhura has more of a leadership like position on the ground in the field. And so I really enjoy that. Like, let's start with our phasers on low kind of concepts.
We're smart.
Like when we enter new situations and not just come blazing. So yeah, so for my sci-fi, you know, old school Star Trek animation.
Nice.
All right, so we're at the age of like Marvel and DC.
Okay.
So who are y'all with?
I'm DC all the way.
You can either way.
I'm DC all the way.
okay.
I'm DC. I'm DC. Yeah.
Being that I love Batman, I cosplay Poison Ivy. You know, I mean, it's definitely DC. So, yeah.
I'm DC all the way. The Green Arrow Black Canary wedding album, like that is my favorite trade paperback. Just like all the superheroes getting together for a superhero wedding. And of course, everything goes wrong. So it's like romance comics plus action comics, you know, plus like we bring in the Amazons to make the story spicy.
Hey.
So it's like, that's where I'm at.
Okay.
Perfect. We all DC people.
Oh yeah.
Because I grew up watching Batman. So that, again, we're at the channel. But can we agree that DC's problem is live action?
Yeah.
Animation's perfect.
Yeah.
Live
And
action.
it's yeah.
But
Didn't mean to
Marvel
interrupt.
is great with live action, but it's like with animation.
Yeah. And I think we're at the point where we're kind of getting burnt out with superhero movies.
So superhero fatigue.
Yeah.
But have you seen the trailer for the new Captain America?
I watched a little bit. I didn't have the volume on, but I watched it. But I'm gonna go see it just because y'all gonna get my money either way. DC, Marvel. I even saw the worst, Batman vs Superman movie just because DC. I had to do it.
It's not bad as the Flash. I finally saw that on streaming.
Okay.
The Flash was worse to me than the Batman vs Superman.
Yeah. But
I haven't seen it.
It's on Netflix.
I'm gonna have to watch it. Yeah, I haven't seen The Flash yet.
Like the first few minutes, like.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. I mean, yeah.
that's how I felt about Wonder Woman, and I love Wonder Woman.
The first or the second one?
The first one. Because I got the Wonder Woman comics, so when the twist came, I was like, oh, like the new comics. And I mean, I get like Catwoman, Batman, and Wonder Woman comics. That's what I buy.
Now, who's your favorite Batman?
You want to go first?
Yes. So I'm going to go back to the whole Wonder Woman thing. Wonder Woman, I'm a 1970s Diana Prince Wonder Woman after she got in a fight with her mom and they took her powers. Her and I Ching doing it for the woman's lib. That is my Wonder Woman. So giving a woman who literally has a truth lasso the ability to have intimate relationships with a person like living in the body of her dead ex-boyfriend, she got a truth lasso. Make it make sense. So I was like through with that. And then how are you going to film it in DC and only have 2 black people? Okay, so there were so many problems with that. I'm glad that a woman got to lead a movie, women get to be directed, but y'all didn't do a true survey of who wanted what.
Yeah.
And for my favorite Batman, I feel like they're all the same, but the true Batman is playing Bruce Wayne, and that goes to Michael Keaton.
Oh, okay. Then yeah. Man, all those movies have a special place in my heart. But yeah, Michael Keaton, he's a good Batman.
Yeah, Michael Keaton. I went to the I'm aging myself here, but they know already, right? I already said how old I am. But I went to the 1989 in the theater with Michael Keaton with, Bat Dance with Prince doing the soundtrack and stuff. I went there so many times. My mom got literally angry with me that I was using my money to go to see that movie. I think I went to see it like 5 or 6 times. And my mom got so angry. She was like, why are you wasting your money? I was like, I have to see it. I know I missed something, But yeah, Michael Keaton. Yeah.
I would say my favorite Batman is Adam West. I like the cut.
Oh,
It was cheesy back then, but
that's true.
Very cheesy.
But it's Batman before him. But I'm Adam West.
Yeah.
More current one, I guess Michael Keaton, like you
Yeah.
said. But the new ones are each different versions of it.
That's true.
Yeah.
Everybody got mad at the Batman vs Superman, but Ben Affleck version.
I ain't like Batman. I
That's
mean,
a more gritty version to me. That's
yeah.
more, like, he's been through so much. At this point, he still has this code of not killing people.
Yeah.
He still gonna do what he gotta do. And Robert Pattinson.
yeah. I ain't gonna front. I did like that new Batman movie. I like that movie, but I also like the Twilight movies too. So I'm not gonna lie. I like the Twilight movies too, and I thought Robert Pattinson did a good job as Batman. At this point with DC, I'm just like, y'all gonna make 50 Batmans before I die, so I'll just see them all. It's just now we get all the universe Batmans. That's how I see it.
What's the unpopular opinion you have when it comes to anime?
What's what?
Unpopular opinion for anime? Something that would get you in a fight with.
Oh, I hate Evangelion. I don't care. Y'all can come fight me. That is not my mech. Anime, like that's not it for me.
I don't think I've been there long enough in the anime world to have an unpopular opinion. They're really short. Like, each episode is really short. I was really shocked the first few times. I was like, what the heck? Did I miss something? But yeah, they're really short. But I like that because I have the attention span of a gnat. So that's awesome.
But I will say with One Piece, if you actually look at it, it's barely 15 minutes long per episode.
Oh.
Because then
like
we got 8 minutes of recap.
Exactly. Like the whole beginning
Really?
is a recap.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then the end is like, oh, this is what's coming up next.
Yep.
So in the middle, like, just
You guys are about to make my son really happy because you know how long he's been trying to get me to start that?
You're gonna love
that's
it.
how
Yeah.
I do it. Because Netflix says you skip the intro, let's just skip half.
Yep.
Okay.
So I'll watch
Okay.
the whole episode at one time.
All right. That might be after Death Note. It might be after Death Note.
So I don't have any comments. Unlike other political commentators, I'm not going to jump in to something I'm not participating in. But thank you for asking.
What do you have an opinion about your favorite?
So I do feel that the HBO Mindy, for Velma, people, like, if you truly have been with the Scooby Gang since the beginning, you should be quite old now. Which means you do remember all those 80s and 90s movies and then the 2000s spoofs of all the teen movies. And that was the approach they were taking. This is tongue-in-cheek. We've told you from the beginning we're not going to have the talking dog to let you know this is not for children. So if you took it as the adult cuteness of turning something classic to make it reinvented for us, it is very good and fun. It's a short series. They didn't reset the universe. Like, they let you know it was standing by itself. So I feel like some people are too hard because we literally did all that pup named Scooby-Doo from the 50s and the doo-wop with the very loose animation. And so if we could survive that, this little blip of Velma should not be killing your soul.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched Velma. People talked about it. I see what it was trying to go for, but the way they did it was rushed because I think it was not that many episodes, so they kind of rushed through.
Okay.
I was hoping to do the second season, but of course they didn't even do it. But it's the fact that people got upset with how they approached it.
They did additional episodes.
They did?
Yes.
Oh, I missed it.
Oh, yes. So you can go on to HBO Max, and they have additional episodes, and they brought back Scrappy.
Oh.
So it takes it, and by bringing back Scrappy, we all know that we are pushing the envelope because nobody likes Scrappy and the red van. We took it because you got to take what you can get, but I feel like people, measure it in the time. And in the place, and the fact that it's on HBO Max and not Cartoon Network should have tipped you off.
Yeah.
This is what we're trying to do.
It's for adults or 18 plus.
Yeah, so we've been doing any concept either this kind or that different.
Ooh. All right. So I've been to Anime Expo in LA. I've been to Anime Boston. I've been going to Otakon for 15 plus years. So from when it was in Baltimore and now it's in DC. I also go to MagFest. I've been to Anime USA. I've been to KatsuCon. It's not my favorite con, so I don't really go back to it. And obviously BlurredCon, because it's nice seeing people that look like me, and we can all be nerds and love each other. And yeah, because growing up in high school, when it's like, oh, you watch those porno shows, I'm like, it's anime. Like, it's not even a hentai. It's anime. There's the hentai, but this one isn't even it. But yeah, so those are all the cons that I like going to, and I hope to make it out to it's in Seattle though. It's the largest northwest one, so I hope to make it out to that one year. And I still need to go to Anime Week in Atlanta. I still need to go to DreamCon, and I do want to go to DragonCon. So one day I'm gonna make it out to all those other conventions, but at least for the East Coast. Like, I definitely love going to conventions, meeting new people, seeing everybody's cosplays, because everybody's dope. Seeing black people in cosplay, because they be like, oh, this is a white character. But I'm like, it's fictional. So you can't get mad at people cosplaying over a fictional character. It doesn't make sense. That's what I hate. I'm like, everybody be looking good. Everybody does it to a T. So it's nice, and I love it.
I go to Tidewater because I live in the Hampton Roads, Virginia area. I go to Tidewater Comic-Con. I took my two granddaughters for the first time this year. They fell in love. I think we have two new blurreds in the community. I go to BlurredCon, of course. There's a new one coming into Hampton Roads called Atlantic Comic-Con, which is going to be in August, I think. So I'm going to hit that up since it's their first year support. And I've been to NecoCon, I've been to Pensacon in Florida, and I go to DragonCon every year. DragonCon is my life, along with BlurredCon. These two are like, I will leave a job to come to these. If you say it's a job or here, peace out, I'll find something else. So yeah, and I go to a Supernatural Con in Nashville every year. So yeah, I spend way too much money there, but it's okay.
So I've been to New York City Comic Con 7 times, Brooklyn Comic Con once, Awesome Con once, Farpoint once, BlurredCon 3 times.
Nice.
I've done BlurredCon 3 times. I've been to New York Comic Con 4 times.
Okay.
This year will be the 4th time. I've been to Emerald City in Seattle twice.
Okay.
Did DragonCon last year for the first time. MomoCon I did 3 times. I'm going to DragonCon again this year, so it'll be good. I can't remember all the other ones I've done a couple of other ones, but the reason I asked is, do you have any experience or a story from a con? Your face completely.
I remember one time at MagFest, somebody filled a tub with Skittles, and somebody was eating those Skittles. So do what you will with that information. People were in the Skittles, and also somebody ate the Skittles, and I'm like, that's gross because it's hot. I mean, you know, you go to the raves and stuff, and I'm just like, I would not want to be eating Skittles after somebody's been in them. Yeah.
I have a lot of stories, some that are not appropriate to mention up here. So yeah. But one, I went. This wasn't like a normal. This wasn't like a normal con, I guess you could say. I went to Smoky Mountain Terror with my daughter this June actually, and we went for Twilight actors. We saw some Twilight actors there, and the guy who played the father, we had met him before, and I told him a funny story about when we met before and how he kissed my hand. Not gonna lie, I gave my 13-year-old daughter a look, you know, like, which I shouldn't have done. But I told him that, and she was standing there, and I said, she never lets me live it down. And he said, well, let's make the score even. And he took her hand and he kissed it. And as he took her hand, she was sitting there going, oh, no, 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 no. I think she was almost about to pass out. That was an awesome moment because she was giddy about it for the rest of the weekend. So that was pretty awesome.
For me, at New York City Comic Con, watching people film their reality shows at New York City Comic Con.
Oh, no.
So I was there for Ice-T and Coco, and like Coco came as Princess Leia, and we were like shoulder to shoulder because the lines are so tight there, and I could see the blue in her veins.
Wow.
Like she is that pale. But it was just like really cool just to see like life happening for TV at the comic book convention, because I like a good layered costume.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I guess from my experience wise, I do a lot of interviews with celebrities, and so I guess more recent one would be I got to interview Lou Diamond Phillips.
Oh wow.
I never thought that his level of fandom I would get to interview somebody that high up.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And he was super nice. He was friendly, and it was nice. Also, on the topic of celebrities, like, have you ever met a celebrity that you, like you said, that you would just fanboy out for? Like, you just,
Oh man. All right, so I also like going to K-pop concerts, and I'm the type of person that I pay for VIP to get photos and stuff. But also, I would say the famous person that I really enjoyed meeting was Carrie Keranen, who was the '90s voice of Casca for Berserk, and it was nice being the last person in line. So I got to get a couple more minutes talking to her, and she was just telling me funny stories about like behind the scene voice acting, like in the booth and stuff like that. So to me, I'll never forget that because I'm like, she was nice and the stories are pretty funny. So I like that.
Wow, that's very cool.
This is another memory from a good interaction with someone from Smoky Mountain Terror. I went, and again, it was Twilight actors, but there was also an actor who played in Supernatural. He also played in Supernatural on Twilight also, and he was my favorite villain, like the one that freaked me out the most. So I was talking to him about Supernatural and about Twilight, and I started crying because I'm a crier, and I was talking about my kids and everything. And my daughter comes up and says, I'm sorry, my mom's a crier. And he says to me, it's okay, you know, it's okay to cry. I cry sometimes too. And when he signed my autograph, he mentioned me crying, and he was like, it's okay, he's like, don't tell Dean that I cry too. And I fangirled so much, and I was just like, thank you so much, you know, and I couldn't get words out, and I was a blubbering mess, and my daughter had to apologize for me.
Last year, I got to meet Rachel True here at BlurredCon, and she was able to do a one-card tarot reading for me because she has her own tarot deck, and like autographed it with me for me, and so that was like really special because I loved her on Half and Half. You know, I like really enjoyed her in Craft, and I just feel like Hollywood is trying to be better to make sure all the cast members make it to the opportunities and not just pulling out characters.
It was nice that she was here.
I think it's more, they're trying to do inclusion, so they're doing more actors or
No. My second writing campaign was to the cable company when they took Dawson's Creek off the campus cable networks. You know, and had my Sora go and record at her boyfriend's house for me every week on VHS to make sure I didn't miss an episode.
Oh man.
Now, since you're talking about like standing up for stuff, is there anything you stand up for? Do you like?
Yeah, I have a lot of friends who are gay and trans, so I definitely go to things with them, and I mean, I like anybody. I just don't think we should hate people, and it's always the saying, like, why are you worried about what somebody else is doing in the bedroom? It doesn't really affect you. It doesn't bother you. I mean, you know.
So as far as what I stand up for, I stand up for the LGBTQ. I have a transgender child, and I'm tooth and nail for that kid. You know, I have cut off family members because they weren't respecting my kid. But yeah, so, and I have a lot of friends who are in the LGBTQ community, and so yeah, no, I'm definitely with that. And anything else, I mean, if it's not hurting a kid, an animal, or the environment, live your life, and I will fight for you. You know, as long as you know you're not doing any of that, we good. You know, so just love people and let it be, man. That's my thing.
My existence is a protest. Many times when I walk into spaces, I am the integration. You know, my life is the blueprint. Many people are coming in behind me. You know, so many times I walk into spaces where I'm the only person not cleaning something in that room. And so me showing up as my full authentic self in every room I go into is the protest. Every time I don't code switch, it is the protest. So just living life is the protest for me.
Now, T'Challa, he talked about his panel. I don't know if you saw his panel. How about code switching. Like he has to try to keep the English accent, but then it comes out and he's like, where you from? Like, so do you talk about code switching? You don't do it.
So as I become older, the more access to personal power I get, the less I have to code switch. Code switching is a tool of survival. Not everybody has the bring yourself to work workspace. Not everybody has the be your whole self housing. But as I gain power, gain access, gain resources, I can minimize the tool of code switching for survival. And then when I create spaces with my newfound power, I don't force people to code switch.
I mean, I've always been into like tech and technology, so I'm in cybersecurity, and just the way we have to talk to people, I try to keep it, I guess, professional. But it's cool. I mean, in my workplace, it's definitely a lot of people of color. So when we have to go outside that to talk to like the government employees and stuff like that, obviously, you know, hey, how are you doing today? Like, you know, switching back and forth. But I don't know, the places that I've worked in, it's been pretty. I guess I've never had to notice it because I've always been in like a gaming environment, IT, and everyone's a big nerd. So.
I had to do it my whole life growing up in the town that I grew up in. I mean, my parents always pushed for me to be myself, my authentic self, no matter, you know, who that gets upset about it or whatever. But, you know, as a kid trying to grow up and fit in, I would do what I felt I need to do. Now I don't so much. On the phone with my job, I mean, I don't even have a southern accent when I'm on the phone with my job, you know, so, because sometimes people hear that southern accent and they're like, oh, who am I dealing with, Barney Fife, you know, but, yeah, so, like, on the phone for work, yeah, you know. But I enjoy my job, so they don't force me to do it. It's just something that I do. But yeah, everywhere else, I'm just me. Whether someone considers it code switching or not code switching, I'm just me, and I love me. So yeah.
Now, on the topic of code switching, there's some movies like Sorry to Bother You and They Clone Tyrone. How you feel about those movies?
I mean, I like seeing movies that let other people know what we go through, because it's definitely having other people see like from our perspective. I'm like, yeah, it's a lot harder. Like I'm from the back in the day, my parents were like, you have to be 10 times harder than other kids, white kids. So I'm like, I'm all for people seeing it, whether it's educational and you see it and see what we go through.
I appreciate these stories because it gives discussion points for a greater community without using personal stories that will be later used against you in the wrong spaces.
I really don't think I have any extra words to put for that. I think that was eloquently said by both of you ladies. Yeah, I mean, it does open up a dialogue. It can open up a dialogue. So my son, he was watching those movies and he's just like, yeah, that this needs to be out here, and I'm like, okay, but I don't think my son has ever code switched a day in his life, though. I swear to God, I don't think he has.
All right, so y'all have any topics y'all want to talk about?
Shoot, I'll let you go first.
So one of the things I do with Kalinda the Tech brand is talk about professional development and professional networking. And I have turned cosplay and the comic book conventions into my executive hobby. If you at the VIP level, that ain't cheap. If you're buying fabric and sewing machines, you are in an elevated tax bracket, on some of this as a hobby. Not all deals are made on the golf course. Yesterday at BlurredCon, the panelists didn't show up, and we started talking as a community room, and we had a great 20-minute discussion on the pathway to be a software tester in state government. And so when I am looking behind the mask, looking behind the Star Labs name tag at a comic book convention, I am meeting very successful people, captains of industry, movers and shakers in the community, and we're able to have a good time, but pass a business card. Build relationships where we can leverage in a different space. In the job market, most jobs are given to people who will fit their culture. And you're not going to know you fit the culture until you meet the people. And due to Brown versus the Board of Education not happening until 4 to 9, it prevented a lot of opportunities for people to have networks from long established lines. So when we go to BlurredCon, when we're having fun in our spaces, we're building the new networks. Because in 10 years, your child could be like, oh yeah, my mom used to go to BlurredCon with you. Let me know about your job opportunity.
I just want to say I need to be hanging out with you. Like, I love that. That's very awesome.
As far as my time in BlurredCon, I do a panel every year. I've been doing it for the last 4 years about body positivity and being authentic and living your best life and not conforming to societal norms. So it's always brought me great joy to do that here in this space, where we can talk about being a person of color and being who you are and doing your nerdy stuff or doing your technical stuff or whatever it is you do, because I'm also a burlesque performer, so I do that too. I'm a 51-year-old grandma burlesque performer who is a person of color, and I'm plus size. So I'm pretty much everything that's not supposed to be. So that panel is really important to me, especially with the two other ladies I do it with, just to inspire people to, even if it's family telling you can't do something because of you're too old, you're too young, you're too fat, you're black or whatever, you can tell them you have the strength to say no, I'm gonna do this for me. So I really enjoy doing that panel.
So real quick, we have another person coming. Introduce yourself.
What's up, everybody? It is your master of waves, love and joys, trouble boy, AEOXIS. I'm Tavon Anthony. How you guys doing tonight?
Great.
He's a content creator. I don't know if you've seen his content, but he lives a picture.
Yeah, a few things. A little bit of corny comedy, I guess. Music, martial arts, stuff like that. And when I'm not being a goof on the internet, a lot of the times I'm focused on mental health. So, yeah.
What's your anime show?
Huh?
Yeah, I catch you. So what's your anime?
My what?
Your favorite anime?
My favorite anime. So I'm an isekai guy. So I'm like big on anything that's going to another world. Like ReZero kind of became my favorite like anime over the past couple of years, even though I'm still waiting for another season. But if I jump out of the isekai world, I'll say JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. What's another one? Bleach was up there for a while, but I'm also a rom-com guy. So if it's School Rumble always has a place in my heart just because it was nonsense, the entire time. But yeah, that's where I am.
You actually did a video recently about a hood guy that's a nerd side coming out.
Oh yeah. That was it's funny because that was kind of more like promotion for my newest song, right? Which is actually going to be the single for my EP and also the name of my EP, and I'm calling it Invader Him. So that's really what it is. Like, because I was raised in Southeast DC, and a lot of the times it's just people are kind of hard over there, but I'm not really hard gangster guy. I like to call myself hood adjacent and gangster adjacent. So for me, it's like, yeah, I come from this background, but they were the guys that brought me to the nerd world in general. So I'm like, okay, well, let me kind of fuse the both, right? So I look like, if you mute it, you might think that video is like, oh, this guy's saying some stuff. And then you realize I'm making Metal Gear Solid references and Full Metal Alchemist references. So that's what it is.
How was as a blur? How was your experience?
So funny for me, like everything was normal till I got to high school. Going to high school in PG County, Maryland, it was like everyone there, not everyone, you're gonna have your nerds and stuff, but people that weren't privy to that, they're trying to make fun of like the kid who's running Naruto style down the hallway, which I'm like, first of all, that's not Naruto style, that's Sonic style. You suck. But yeah, once I got to high school, they're like, you're a weirdo. I'm like, oh, I'm a weirdo. You're trying to be a fake gangster. I'm like, you say you're from this neighborhood. No, you ain't. I know all the families over there. So it just kind of got weird till like once I got into high school. But I was also a part of many different cliques because I was an athlete and I was just an artist as well. So I was in so many different things, and musician, of course. So I was the introverted kid that did a lot and got adopted into too many crews. I didn't really care about having friends, but the friends I have were because they said, you're ours now. So that's what happened. So yeah, growing up, it's just like, oh man, this stuff is so mind-blowing. And like my older brothers, my community that raised me, they're like, yeah, that's good. Keep watching that. Stay out of the streets. And my mother, who a lot of the times I'll be like, you're a nerd, and she's like, no, I'm not. I'm like, yeah, you are. You watched Astro Boy and you love Speed Racer, and you're the reason I play video games, and you beat me at everything when I was a kid. So
What's your favorite part of BlurCon?
favorite part of BlurCon, I just like the culture, man. I can come in here, we can do line dances, we can rock out to any kind of music. It's, of course, the music aspect, the party aspect. Oh, goodness. Oh, every year. I'm like, okay, I look forward to not being able to walk for the next 3 days. But yeah, no, it's just good to see people here being free and just doing what they want to do, right? Like, you don't have to worry about being in here and somebody saying, man, you can't cosplay that character. Shut up. Hey, like, but oh my gosh. But yeah, no, you don't have to worry about any of that, right? Like, it's that's what I love the most.
What anime world would you want to live in?
Oh, now here's the thing. I love isekai, but a lot of them worlds, I'm like, I ain't going over there. Maybe like, I would like to live in. What in the world is the name of that show? It's Well, I would definitely like to live in the Food Wars universe.
Yeah.
I would love that. You tell it.
Food War was good.
Yeah, you telling me I can eat some food next to you, I'm busting out my shirt? Yeah, that's great. It's like, oh my god, like, okay, Wandissimo Magnifico, like, yeah, like it's nuts. No, I would definitely like to be in Food Wars, or there's a show about, because I'm also into mixology, so there's the show Bartender, Glass of God. I would like to do that. Huh?
Did that just come out?
I think so. It's relatively new.
It's on my list.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's nice because they go into the history of drinks and stuff, but it's also more of a drama than anything else. But I like the history of drinks and stuff. It's like the closest thing I had to that. There was another show, but it was like a gag anime, and each episode was like 5 minutes. I'm just trying to remember the name of it, but
What was it about?
it was like a couple. So it was a stay-at-home husband who would make drinks for his wife, who would come home from work every day. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I watched that. So she was in each episode. It was like, oh, this is half lemon juice, half ginger, or what?
Yeah, like there would be
And she gets
mocktails or
off
something.
the drinks.
Yeah, it's like it was a total mocktail. Like it was a Cinderella. It's like a Cinderella has no alcohol and she's just like, yo.
Episodes, but you're right. You can binge it. It's really short.
You can get through that like
Yeah.
a couple hours. You really can. So yeah, something light like that where I don't have to worry about, like, I don't know, going outside and wondering how insurance is going to cover this incident. Like, I'm not trying to deal with that at all.
Okay, so what is your fandom? Like, what exactly is your nerd?
My what?
Your nerd. What's your fandom? What's your key fandom? Is this anime or is it something other than anime?
I would say anime first. I would definitely say anime first. Because growing up, I was either watching anime or playing MMOs. That's it. So, of course, back in the day, I was a big RuneScape guy, a Silk Road guy, Ion, Guild Wars. When Final Fantasy 14, I jumped on that train late, but I still got in there. I do like Baldur's Gate, though.
Yes.
Oh, goodness, that's stressful, but it's a good kind of stress. Also, very big into tactical espionage games. So, of course, Metal Gear just had me on lock for a long time. But, yeah.
What's your unpopular opinion when it comes to anime?
Unpopular opinion? So, my unpopular opinion, even though, like, if it's not a specific type of isekai or sign-in, stop sexualizing kids, that's really what it is. It's like, hey, man, all right, everybody in high school is doing these things, but some of this stuff gets a little too, or I'm like, hey, dude, this is still a child. So,
Like, I'm watching one thing. You already know.
Yeah.
So you were in Fist Man Island, and y'all was trying to marry the prison.
Yeah.
He was like 8 years old when he went.
Yeah.
Oh, this somebody put age or faster.
Yeah. I was like, leave her alone.
wait a minute.
Like, you waited 10 years for her to turn 18 and then what?
Yeah.
Like, no.
Any experiences from the con?
Experiences from this con?
Any con?
Oh, any con. Like, in regards to what?
What stands out to you?
Oh, man. I don't know. Every time I go to a convention, I feel like I get something new from it. I consider myself late to the con game because, like I said, I was very introverted, like, even right out of college. Getting me to go to places with a lot of people, you could barely do that. But one of my best friends, Yusef, when we met in like 2012, and then PAX came up, and he was helping the MagFest crew like run the jam room up there. And he was like, hey, come with me to this convention. And I'm like, first of all, I was trying every excuse in the book. I'm like, I'm sick. I'm broke. And he's like, you're not sick. You don't sound sick. If you ain't got no money, I got you. And I was like, oh, where'd it go? He's like, I think you should go. But I didn't know what he was doing at the time. He knew I had an interest in video game music, anime music, because I used to do a lot of anime covers. I just post them up and I just didn't care about it. I would go about my business. But he felt like there was something I needed to see, and lo and behold, Mega Ran was there. And when I saw that, I was like, oh, we do this. Okay. And then I started running with it. So that's one of my favorite experiences. Another one would be playing MagFest main stage for the first time a few years ago. That was really fun. Other than that, there's always just funny things that happen here, especially like the hotel parties. It's just like, all right, guys, how trash you want to be? Or you open the door and it might be the wrong room. I'm not going to say anything ridiculous, but it's just like, oh! Y'all have fun in there. But no, whether it's like a competitive thing or anything like that, seeing people play Smash, I'm like, dude, I thought my friends were competitive. And then you see tournaments and you're like, yo, I feel like y'all would run the fade if you could. But, yeah.
Okay, so we talk about Marvel or DC. Which one are you?
Marvel or DC? Ooh. I'm more of a Marvel guy, but I'm more of a Marvel guy, but of course Batman's one of my favorite superheroes. So that's where I am with that.
You're DC.
Oh yeah? Hey, that works.
Have you seen the new preview for the new world?
I haven't yet.
I'm the only one who's seen it so far. It's interesting. I would say that it's a lot of notes. I will. It's not a spoiler, but in the trailer, Bucky's not in it. At least I didn't see him.
Okay.
You know they're doing a lot. Anthony Mackie.
Oh. Wait. Really?
In real life, yeah. They look like the hands in real life.
You tell me that YouTube video I saw where it was like actors who are best friends in real life was lying to me? Oh, damn.
Oh. Oh no. Oh no.
A 20-minute video of different actors being best friends. I was like, I know she wanted
But we didn't talk about celebrities that we met.
Talk about what?
Celebrities we met that we like fanboying over.
Oh, okay. Dang. Who have I fanboyed over? I'm not really a fanboy type person. I'm like, oh yeah, what's good? Like I ended up meeting because when you say celebrity, I don't know, these are celebrities to me. So Cynthia Harrell, right? Met her at MagFest. The first thing this year, I met her this year because her liaison was actually a friend of mine, and the first video game cover I ever did was Snake Eater, like in a weird polyrhythm type of way, right? And he let her listen to it, and I'm like, oh God, why did you do that? You probably blew her ears off. That's crazy. And he had me come to the lobby right before she got in the car to go to the airport or wherever she was going, and he's like, yeah, this is the guy. She was like, that was interesting. I'm like, oh God, she hates me. No, she actually enjoyed it, so that was cool. But I don't know, most people that I meet in person, whether they're like wrestlers or like lead singers of bands that I like or something like that, I say the only guy I've ever kind of went like, oh, was there's a band, a symphonic power metal band called Camelot, and their lead singer, it was more of how did I even get in this scenario than like just him being there. So I was like, dang, this is crazy. I never thought I actually talked to you. I didn't know you spoke English. So that was probably like the only time. But nah, I don't really fanboy that much. It's just like, oh yeah, you're there. Listen, I respect you. Da 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 da. Okay, now I'll go about my way.
Have you ever had a code switch? Or do you code switch?
Oh, I'm the same no matter what. It is what it is. That's what my older brothers always told me to do. They're just like, look, you don't have to switch up unless you're talking about work. That's a little different. That's a little different. But even then, it's like, y'all gonna get this, and that's it. That is it. I never had a problem, so no
So
coaching.
I know with you, what you saying for is mental health. So what's about it?
Mental health. So I just think, especially from the male perspective, right? It's more talked about now than ever because, well, and it sucks that it's more talked about now than ever because of all the heinous things that have happened, because we weren't focused on it. But it's good that we're talking about it. I like to bring more of a comical aspect to it, and that's kind of what, especially on my social media pages, that's what gets people to talk to me. Because at surface level, it just seems funny first, and then as things go along, they're like, oh wait, he's making some points here. It's like, wait, how did you get here? Well, I can tell you about either my experiences, I can tell you about things that I've seen, because growing up, like, I didn't talk a lot, but I watched and I heard, and I didn't make a lot of the same mistakes that, you know, my older brothers and people in my community made, because I'm just like, I don't want to go there. So at least let me ask questions and see what's up. Like, growing up, I had a severe anger issue, but it became very clear what the problem was. It's like, okay, well, I come from a household where we listen first, right? Like, we listen to understand. And when I was outside of it, I just didn't understand it. Not everyone was like that. So when I felt like I wasn't being heard, it's like, wait, like, do I have to say it again, or do I have to throw a chair? Like, this is kind of nuts. And then I realized, like, okay, throwing a chair shouldn't be an option. Throwing a desk shouldn't be an option. Body slamming someone shouldn't be an option. Because that'll get me in a world of trouble. Let's go ahead and stop this. And, okay, I feel like they didn't hear me. Maybe I have to repeat myself, or maybe this person's just a jerk, and that has nothing to do with me. I can go this other way. It could be something as simple as that, or once you start hearing other people's stories and you start to, like, break it down, you realize, like, first of all, anger is a secondary emotion. That's number one. And two, like, I think a lot of people are just misinformed. It's like, and not just men, right? Because largely, especially in American culture, we're being told that nobody cares about how you feel at all. So, and then the times that they do focus on it, it's always something extreme. It's like, why do we have to wait until something extreme happens for anyone to give a crap? That doesn't make any sense. That actually sounds like you still don't care to me. You just want people to act in line. No, solve the problem at the base. And that's where I come from.
Now, kind of on that topic, y'all remember the bear, the man in the woods?
Yeah.
Who y'all?
I don't even like this one.
What's the question?
So that's a question. Well, that go around as the women. Would you rather be with a bear or a man in the woods alone?
I'm going with the bear.
I have my take on this. So there's a lot of talk about that on the internet, right? Where especially there's outrage from men going, "You chose the bear." It's like, let's talk about the underlying issue here. We have generations and generations and generations of trauma and ridiculous things done by men that would make the women go, "I would choose the bear." Just being honest. At least they know the bear might eat them. At least they know that. You're acting like you won't, even though that might be your intention. A bear is either going to eat you or it's not. That's it. You is just like, oh, we cool. No, we not. So.
And the older women, remember this one though, where they ask the guys like, "You ready to talk to a woman about your feelings?" Or talk to a woman. Remember that one?
Yeah, I remember that one. I talked to a friend about this the other day where I said, if you feel like you can't talk to your significant other about your feelings, that ain't your significant other. They're just not. Like, and it may come from a few places, right? Let's say the person you're dealing with was just never in the practice of either being an open book or like just doesn't have the capacity to take on certain things. Okay, well, that's a them issue. It's not a you issue. It might not make them a bad person, But if you're dealing with somebody who listens to you just to mess with you later on, okay, I get it. That happens. But that's not everybody. That's another thing too. Like that's a trend on the internet as well. It's like they're gonna use it against me later. Okay, you're telling me that every woman that wakes up in the morning just goes, "I'm a villain." Like that's not what happens. That's not what happens. It's like you know a very small percentage of the world, and I need you to go outside. So.
I think that as men, though, we're taught to keep our emotions inside.
Yeah, I was told to cry. I was told to express yourself because if you don't express yourself, once again you're gonna end up throwing tables. So, but also like for me, I guess the community I grew up around, they were very practical with it though. They're like, listen, express yourself. If you need to cry, cry. Just don't stay down for long. Like that's not the place you want to be in. You want to get up and keep moving, learn and move. That's it. But yeah, like keeping your emotions intact. It's like yeah, but some things can be overwhelming. Like if you keep doing that, you're gonna end up doing something that you never thought you were going to do. And now you're sitting on the news trying to explain to yourself, I did. I'm sorry. You weren't sorry 5 seconds ago when you were on top of that building screaming F whoever and dropping bowling balls off. It hit a child, sir.
Something like that, like, all that, this generation, we're really young.
Huh?
How old are you, mommy asking?
33.
33. So we're in a generation where like we had a lot of kids. Like, we was at home, we gave us a kid, we got a couple. This new generation are not like that. We're the participation trophy generation. It got to be hand-fed, it got to be taken, you got an entitled to things. So it's just, yeah, these feel like they have to have their own, they have rights to that. They have to, we deserve this just because they're this.
It's an instant gratification thing too. You know, that's one thing that I've noticed amongst like Gen Z and forward, right? Which is kind of nuts because I'm like, you have a very, very, very bad perception of the world already. It's like, hey, we were kind of given the, okay, if you go to college, you'll get a great job. Elbow, elbow, wink, wink. It's like, all right, yeah, cool. That kind of worked in the 50s. Not so much now. But
Bill Cosby and different world. That's why we talk about Cosby.
yeah, so it's like we had a certain idea. It might not have. It might not have been like the absolute answer, but it was still somewhat practical because the generation before us kind of just gave like their idea of what you should do. It's like, hey, this kind of worked for majority of us in our eyes, so it should work for you. Yeah, times change. You bought a house, it was 40 grand. Have you seen DC lately? $500,000 if you want this. So yeah, it's nutty. But speaking to younger people, like I have nephews, right? Now they were definitely raised by my older brothers, so I don't really see the extra in them. They're like hardworking kids. Like the oldest one's 22 now. I don't have to worry about him at all. He sees the world for what it is. But he's also not sucked into the depression, right? Like people like to romanticize that too. It's just like, no, I'm sad. Okay, that's nice. What you gonna do? Because if you keep giving up the moment something doesn't go right, I don't think you're living. It's called you win or you learn, not, oh, well, this isn't going to work. Like, do you think any person that's great at anything never failed once? That's impractical to me. That's very impractical to me. It's kind of strange. Like, I kind of look at the new generation. Like I said, I'm a martial artist, right? I kind of look at the new generation like, oh, you're the guys that come into the martial arts gym, you think you're going to be Floyd Mayweather, and then you get hit. And then you realize, like, oh, this can happen to me. Yeah. I don't want to come back no more. Dang! Oh, ooh, boo-hoo. Got a little shiner? I never got a black eye in the gym, thank goodness. Definitely got a busted lip. Of which, of course, my mother was just like, oh, child! But my mother does not sound like that. I hope she sees this because she's going to hate it. But, yeah, no, it's just very weird. I think there has to be more communication between us and the next generation, but it's also hard to get them to listen. Because, like I said, when they're bombarded by social media and like others that might be telling them like, hey, you're not doing enough, or they see someone else that has all these things, and it's just comparison on top of the instant gratification aspect. It's a very bad concoction, and it's very hard to get out of that. Very hard. So, oy oy.
Thanks. So what I think about spaces like BlurredCon, it gives us an opportunity to play, try, and fail with a safety net. I cannot sew yet. 2025, I'm going to learn how to use a glue gun. But, my cosplay today was brought to you, not this one, but the one earlier today was by Temu and safety pins. Okay? And so 2 o'clock in the morning, I safety pin 20 leaves to make a hula skirt. Okay?
That's tedious.
And it made me push me to be like, I need to know how to use a glue gun next year. Okay. And so spaces like this let me try and fail with a safety net that like 8 people knew what the costume was, even though it wasn't brought to you by Singer, with a great simplicity pattern, and that's what's great about these spaces. It gives us time to try and play with a safety net before we go into the bigger, harsher stages of corporate America or the World Wide Web.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I liked how you said how some people will just fail and they won't try again. They'll just give up. Because there's definitely been times where I've failed and I'm like, well, maybe this isn't for me, but I've tried something different and I've succeeded. So I like how you said that. Yeah.
First of all, I want to thank you for being an advocate for men's mental health. That's a very important thing. I have 3 sons. One is married. One is engaged, and actually 2 are engaged. I'm sorry, I just remembered that. I hope they don't see that. I'm sorry, sweetie. I'm not paying for them, so. Yeah. But they've dealt with their mental issues and stuff, and their father was not very open about mental health and everything, nor was my family growing up. But I learned to be with mental health, and I really try to push them to get the help that, mental help that they need for what they've dealt with and are dealing with as young black men. Because my oldest son has had many of situations where he was called for, that's the kid that we saw jumping the military gate, to get into housing, when, first of all, we live in housing. Second of all, the kid that they caught was like 5'5" and a darker skinned kid. My kid was 6 foot, very fair skinned. And I'm like, how do you, so, but yeah, so I appreciate that. And thank you very much, because men's mental health is extremely important.
Nothing, anything I want to promote or say?
I do. So if any of you are in the Hampton Roads area, that's like Norfolk, Virginia Beach, Chesapeake, I perform with the Feral Showgirls. We are a cabaret group. We do everything from burlesque to belly dance to acting to singing, comedy, you name it, we're doing it. We are very LGBTQ friendly. We have all ages, races, sizes, genders, sexual identities. We're just a fun group. And we do raffle prizes at every show. So we perform once a month in Norfolk and then all over other places in Hampton Roads. So
I don't think I have anything. Sorry.
So I am Kalinda the Tech across all social media, and I speak about women and people of color going into technology and why young people should go into STEM careers and making time for professional development. I recently released a professional mindset journal and a professional mindset day planner. So if you're like looking for tips and suggestions to break into technology, upgrade your professional development so you too can afford an expensive executive hobby like cosplay, please reach out to me on social media.
Once again, I'm Tavon Anthony. I am Aoxis, AEOXIS on all social media platforms. Just Google me, you will find all of my nonsense in any event that I have coming up soon. I believe I'm performing in Baltimore on the 16th of this month, so I just got to remember what venue name that is. But it's like, listen, they call me, I go. It's like, does it pay? Yeah. Are the people gonna be there? Yeah, I'm in there. But yeah, that's all I got.
I'll say something. I stream on Twitch. I go by the name of Aozora_Rain. That's AOZORA_RAYNE. Obviously, my tags are like Black Girl Gamer. I'm also a veteran. I was in the army. As
You got, what, 2 months, right?
what happened?
You got 2 months left?
No, I'm actually out. So yeah. I also I'm all aboard with everyone with with mental health. Previously, I saw a therapist and I was diagnosed with anxiety. So sometimes I don't feel like I'm good enough, but it was good to have somebody to talk to. But yeah, my channel is pretty friendly. I play fighting games, RPGs, anything that interests me. I do it for fun. So that's the main thing. Like, if you're worried about getting people, that's what makes it like harder, because then you're focused more on that. But I just like playing games for fun and talking to my community. So yeah, that's about it.
Well, thank y'all for taking the time out doing this. And hope you enjoyed it. The rest of the time I'm going to head down to the bar. Y'all can to the bar too?
Yes.
There you go.
I'm gonna go to the rhythm games.
You got your...
I'm not just ready. I'm ready for Freddy.
There you go. All right, so I thank y'all for watching as well. Thank you so much, everybody. I do have you.
I want to get everybody's name.
Yeah, just type it in here.
I got
Where you on Facebook or Instagram? What is it?
I'm